Up, everybody? It is I, the JUICEman3941, coming at you via Unpaid Gamers on YouTube. This is the Gaming Round Table. Now, I know I haven't been on in a while, but there's a big reason for that. I'm actually in the process of moving out of my old place that I'm living and have been here and broadcasting for a little while to my new place. And I've been planning wedding, and I'm getting married, and there's just been so much going on that I have not really had a whole lot that I've been wanting to do as far as my YouTube channel is concerned. And I should do better. I don't do better. I get busy and bogged down with everything. But here we are at episode 20, called Banning Boxes. That's right, a U.S. senator has introduced a bill, and you've probably already heard about this from other YouTube constituents, Yang Yao and some others, where they're introducing a bill to ban loot boxes and microtransactions to protect our children. And apparently EA and some other companies are very, very, very worried. It's one thing for Belgium and another whole other company to sit back and say, hey, fuck you and your loot boxes, and they're not going to be in the game, because EA is not really too concerned about some of these Netherlands and Belgium and 3 or 4 other countries. But now that the US is trying to create this bill, it's going to savagely curtail into their money. And not that the CEOs and the shareholders need any money for EA or Activision or Ubisoft or any of the other companies that do this, primarily EA and Activision. It's just interesting because it also states that they can't add them in after the fact, which is something that Activision did with Black Ops 4, was add in microtransactions after they blatantly lied to our faces and said we will not be adding microtransactions to Black Ops 4, and then you added them later when the game undersold. Fuck you, Activision. Fuck you, Bobby Kotick, and all the people who work at Activision, and fuck you for doing that. I think it's Bobby Kotick. I don't know all my CEOs because, they're just basically nameless, worthless assholes. My point is that with this U.S. bill in place and Congress overseeing it, it has a good chance of passing because of the way that the wording is, and that they're trying to protect the children. And I you know what? I'm 100% for this. Companies, have been doing this loot box shit for a while, and EA, again, because of Star Wars Battlefront, leave it to a Star Wars game to make everyone really come on board with this. But my point is to have these loot boxes, to have these transactions, to have this stuff in there. It is egregious. It is gambling. I've said this before on a couple other videos. I think that this bill should be passed because it will force not just the game companies to remove this stuff, but it will force them to finally give us games of quality, Like, we won't have to sit here and worry about this game and that game and this game, and that they're just cutting content. They're going to be forced to actually give us decent games, to give us full titles without locking anything behind loot boxes or microtransactions. This is a beautiful thing, right? And I think even if Overwatch is affected, to you Overwatch players, hopefully your shit gets banned too, and skins will just have to be earned by ranking up, which is how it should be. There should be no loot boxes. You should rank up your character, and you should earn skins. Kind of like Battleborn does it. Hello. Battleborn, rank up your character, earn skins. They're not in loot boxes. Pretty easy to do, I think. But my point that I'm trying to make is that banning the loot box, banning these microtransactions to actually protect the kids, because gambling is a known addiction. There is a science behind that. It's about dopamine rushes. It's about, making it seem like, oh, I'm going to win, with spinning numbers and lights and all this other stuff to make it seem like you're doing something. I've already talked about how intrinsic value in one video, but this U.S. bill, I'm all for. I'm 100% for it. These companies don't need to make any more money than they already did. It has been proven by a shareholder statement that removing and I've said this in another video, the shareholders at EA stated that when they removed the loot boxes and the pay-to-win mechanics and microtransactions out of Star Wars Battlefront 2, it actually did not affect their bottom line. which means they didn't have to put them in the first place. Sorry, been sneezing all day. Pollen count's kind of high right now. But my point is that these predatory loot boxes and microtransactions, they gotta go. I miss the days of buying a game and unlocking stuff normally. One of the coolest games that I played recently is Override Mech City Brawl. It's very simple to play, pick up, and easy to play, but hard to master. It is a 3D kind of kaiju kind of like fighting game. I love the fact that I can play the game, and even though it is randomized, I unlock stuff every time I play it without having to spend any money on loot boxes and microtransactions. I might unlock colors. I might unlock a skin. You never know what you're going to get, but the point is that you unlock these things and you unlock skill points and you can increase your stuff and you don't have to buy anything, right? You just don't. And I miss those days where I can load up a game knowing that I can do certain things or in the game and just unlock stuff. I really like that. That to me is something I really, really enjoy. Now, I did talk about Mortal Kombat 11 in an earlier video, and how they're just, in my last video, talking about how they have all these problems and the microtransactions, all this stuff. You know, I'm big about taking that stand against companies. Battlefront 2, fuck that, return that shit. They took the shit out of it, and they took all the microtransactions out of it, and I rebought it digitally when it was on sale, because now, to me, it was playable. Shadow of War, Lord of the Rings, egregious storefront, selling, even going as far as selling the true ending of the game for $20. Fuck you for that. I did not buy the game. I would not support the game. They took it out because it was affecting the Nemesis system. You know what I did? Bought the game, $10 digital. You got to take a stand against this bullshit practice that they've been doing. Yeah, I know I'm cussing a lot. I don't give a fuck because my channel is not edited. What I'm talking about, though, is this bill needs to pass, because it would be nice to take a company like Ubisoft, a company like EA, and a company like Activision and put them in check. They will be forced to give us games with all the content that's needed, and they will be forced to stop doing this live service shit, which is literally a mitigated disaster. Every live service game except for Final Fantasy 15, I think it's 15, or is it 14? You know, the one with Noctis in them, has been a complete disaster. None of them actually work properly. And even with Anthem News Update that came out, for example, today, live service game, great. We got fast travel between Striders now in the open world, and you added a lot of improvements. Yeah, my game crashed a total of 7 times tonight. It actually, the new patch, and I hadn't crashed in a long time, has now made the game continuously crash. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it just goes to show you, and with these egregious microtransactions, this bill is going to make EA and them lose money. Well, I don't care, because if they lose money, or the shareholders lose money, because when you have shareholders and CEOs who have enough money to last a lifetime, and their children's lifetime, and their children's children's lifetime, and their children's 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 lifetime, you don't need any money, man. Why do you feel like you still have to keep earning? You want all the money. Why? You have enough. You don't need that. Your lifestyle is so lavish, and yet you never run out of money. So you don't need that. The U.S. bill needs to pass. I'm for it. I am completely 100% on board with it. I'm glad it's been introduced. And let me tell you something, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, THQ Nordic, you big publishers, not so much THQ Nordic, they don't really do it, but those three, the main ones there, Ubisoft, Activision, EA, guess what? Checkmate, motherfucker. It's your move. See what you do now when that bill passes. This has been episode 20 of the Gaming Roundtable. I am your host, the JUICEman3941. I am the gamer telling you the way it is. Thank you for joining me at the Gaming Roundtable. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to Unpaid Gamers, the round-headed, pointy guy. And I'll see you on the next episode. And as always, gamers, good gaming.